Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is my husband, Glenn. He's not here right now, but he's always here in spirit. He's not dead, but he's always here in spirit because he helped me set up the studio. I wouldn't have any of this for him if it weren't for him, so we always give a shout out to Glenn. I've got a really important guest in the studio today, and Calamity Jones Hour is all about calamity. So that's why it's on Monday night tonight, because that's just worked better for me, because we're going to be doing the wildflowers on Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the next day. Bonnie, Tony Landolfi, and I will be going live for our monthly show. Wildflowers is just once a month now. So I just wanted to tell you some things that are coming out with Mandy Jones, the comedian. On Thursday, I'll be at Long Island Glass in Holtzville doing a comedy show. On February 7th, if you go to no other shows, February 7th is the free comedy show that Bonnie and I do every month at G's in West Hempstead. The other one is going to be 3/7. So March 7th and February 7th are the free G's Comedy Club shows. On 2/11, I'll be at the Castle on Delaware. That's in Walton, New York. And on 2/12, I'll be in Oliphant, PA, if I'm saying that correctly, at the Keystone Stage. Both of those are all ladies shows. On the 20th of February, I'll be at Alibi, Speakeasy and Lounge, I believe is the full title of the place. That's in Farmingdale. And then 3/7, like I said, the Free G's show in West Hempstead. 4/2, I'll be hosting at Greenwich Village Comedy Club for my friend Evan Weiss, who I love and adore. So if you're in the city, come to that. And then 4/22, Gov's Little Room for the Terry McNeely Laughs in the Little Room. So that's what I got coming up. And before I bring my guest on, I just wanted to do the ad, because since we're only going to be doing the wildflowers once a month now. Oh, and if you found the show, share the show. Since we're only going to be doing the wildflowers once a month, we're going to be doing whenever I throw the Calamity Jones Hour on, I want to just mention our sponsor, which is Keys Love Jewelry and Keys Cutlery. You could find them over at Retro Relics at 2860 Middle Country Road in Lake Grove. They have Keys Cutlery is like knives, swords, self-defense equipment. Bonnie always raves about her stun gun that she hasn't gotten to use yet. And then Keys Love Jewelry, where they have stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Really cool stuff. So you could check out them either at Retro Relics down in Lake Grove, or you can go to keyslovejewelry.com or keyscutlery.com. We love them and just support local businesses. Speaking of local businesses, my guest today actually is a business owner, and he is, I usually say my friend and now yours, but I can't, because this person is so special that is not a friend. So I'm going to introduce my dad, none other than Paul the Tree Guy. Woo!
Hello.
Welcome, Dad. So we were talking a little bit about the show before the show started, but I have some questions for you, and I don't know if you wanted to say anything to me, how proud you are of me, or anything like that. You feel free to say now.
No, you're doing good. It's all good.
I'm doing all right in your book?
Well, considering you were a crack baby, I mean, you worked out pretty good.
That's how I feel about it, you know? I mean, I think I did pretty well considering. Now, I think I give you guys a hard time. I think I give you guys a real hard time about it. I think you and Mom did a really good job with us.
It was more on your mother. I was out there making the buck, but she had more control.
Well, someone's got to provide. But, you know, we had it's weird. I'm just not seeing this live. I don't know why I'm not seeing it live on my page. So just give me one moment, Dad. I just want to make sure this thing's working before we do a nice long hour freaking thing here.
Of nothing?
Well, it's definitely recording for us. I just want to make sure that it's going. Oh, yeah, we're good. All right.
We're on?
Yeah, we're rolling. We're rolling. Sorry, I just have to have a temporary meltdown at like every time once.
Okay, that's fine.
So we got it out of the way early. All right, so I wanted to start, like when I had Mom on, I kind of wanted to start with like history, family history, because not everyone gets to sit down with their parents and interview them. So like I kind of wanted to know about your grandparents, because I never met them. And did you meet all your grandparents?
No, I only met my granddaddy was my mother's father, who I spent most of my time with.
Oh, he was the only one you met?
He the only one.
Okay.
I mean, my father's mother, she didn't, they weren't married.
Okay. Yeah. So you didn't see her?
No, I didn't see the grandfather. I only saw my...
Yeah, okay. And how was she?
She was nice, but I was like scared of her. I don't know. I was like 9 years old, 7 years old.
Was she like a big lady? Did she have a big presence?
She was a big, I was little.
Yeah, and a big lady is scary.
And she's like, hi. And I was like, took off,
They joke about my little brother-in-law, Darren, the one aunt was like, you got to kiss me every time. And he was like, no. Like, he was like, Glenn was just like, oh, you do what you got to do. But, okay. So, and then my dad's dad I called granddaddy, but your mom's dad you called granddaddy.
Yeah.
So, and he was cool.
Oh, yeah. He was in the Air Force for 35 years, and he was a motorhead. He worked on airplanes.
Okay, so he didn't fly airplanes. He was a mechanic in the Air Force.
But was in the Air Force for 35 years. He worked in Mitchell Field right here on Long Island.
Yeah, it's so funny because we do work there at my company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. He and then he moved. He lived in like Hicksville somewhere, or Plainview, cuff of Hicksville and Plainview. Then he moved out to like Ridge. So I would go out there 2 weeks in the summer. My mother would ship me, my sister Linda, and Jeanette, and the girl across the street, Mary Horath, across the street. And we'd spend 2 weeks there. Like, taught us how to shoot a BB gun. He had old cars on his property, like 3 old cars. And I would sit in the cars and do the wheel thing, spinning the wheel. But he was cool. Yeah, he was a good guy.
That sounds like a good vacation for you.
But back then, he would drive. He had a little Dodge Dart with all the tools in the back of the car and everything. But he drove he was doing 75, 80 in this thing. And back then, the expressway, to get out to 69, after exit 52, there was nothing. I mean, it was 55. He was doing 70, 80 with us in the car, no seatbelts or nothing. What is this all in there? We were going to Granddaddy's house. I think he hammered because he wanted to get home and, have a beer or something because, But he got us there.
These freaking kids.
Yeah, he got us there. He had the BB gun. We would shoot a BB gun. He had a tire, a rim of a tire, a rim nailed to a 4x4, and he put a hubcap on it. So when it ricocheted, it really could come back. It'll take your eye out, It wasn't then once in a while we'd set up the can, and shoot a can. Yeah, it was good times.
And he also, you told me he had a garden. He was a farmer.
Oh, he had a huge garden. He had a garden it had to be a quarter acre in the back because he had 3 acres there. And he would take all the food and all the vegetables and bring them to all the church ladies and deliver. And he was a really good soul. He would he was taking care of because back then, in the early 70s, late 60s, Ridge was probably the slums. There was no I'm talking about. I would remember pulling up these people's houses and the kids are coming out with no shoes on. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Granddaddy, what's going on?
Granddaddy isn't safe here.
And then 2 little kids come out. Hey, boy, what's up? What are you? That's a fancy shirt you got on. What are you talking about, my shirt? Where'd you get them shoes? Shoes? Everyone has shoes.
They're hand-me-downs from my freaking siblings. What are you talking about?
It was pretty funny, but yeah. One time my father told me a story about, he goes, we would go out to see, Granddaddy. My father called him Jack, of course. And he pulls up and my grandfather's rolling around on the fucking lawn. So, so my father's like, "What this silly bastard doing?" You know. So he gets out of the car and walks out and goes, "Jack, what the hell are you doing?" He goes, "I'm practicing how to fall." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm practicing how to fall," because he was getting in his later years, so he wouldn't. He's practicing. My father goes, "Holy shit, the fucking guy was fucking genius."
I'm gonna be taking some tumbles, so I might as well get used to it.
Yeah, the one thing he did, which freaked me out, my grandfather, when he was probably later in his 70s, maybe like late 70s. Guy worked with fucking motors his whole life. Worked on airplanes with props.
Yeah.
He was cutting his grass, and something happened by the mower deck. He's fucking stuck his 3 fingers and chopped off his top 3 fingers.
Oh my God, he must have
must have just like.
How old was it? He was older.
He was
wasn't
in his 70s.
thinking.
Yeah, it was in the late 70s.
That's like a dementia
if
thing.
I start putting my fucking hand in fucking fan shrouds when I'm working on a car, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, guy, slow down."
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the tools away from you if anything like that starts happening.
Take the fucking mower away from him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking.
The fucking motor's running, there's a blade under it.
Yeah, no, that's that must have been like a freaking, that's crazy. Like just getting older. That's
getting older.
Well, funny thing that I always say about Nana, my dad's mom, was when she got older, it was the busy street, so and you guys didn't want her backing out.
Yeah.
So my dad and my uncle would turn the car around for her. And then she noticed that they were doing that, so then she was reversing in. She's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted me to leave forward." They're like, "No, we don't want you ever reversing."
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on that one.
Nana. All right. So then there was, you had a lot of siblings growing up. Did you ever go on any vacations or anything? Like, how did they manage that?
Well, I was, my oldest sister's probably, I don't know, she's probably 10 years older than me, no? 12 years older than me? Yeah, she's probably 12 or 13 years older than me.
Okay.
So, like, when she was in college, I was, so if we did go on a family vacation, it was only, instead of 9 of us, it was only like...
Not the big kids. Not the biggest kids.
Yeah, it was only like 6 of us.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 if Kathy went.
Yeah.
God rest her soul.
Yes.
We went to police camp. It was up in the Catskills or something, but all the cops, New York City cops, must rent this camp out, So it was all cops, It was kind of wild. I don't know. I didn't really remember it. What were we doing? Walking around hiking, or,
Not your thing. You remember more the BB guns.
Yeah, there was no water slides or anything. There was a pool,
Yeah. And then, but your dad wasn't there. It was just you would go away for the
No. My parents were there too. Yeah, we'd have a cabin with all of us in it and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah. It wasn't the Bahamas, but I guess it was better than nothing.
Well, yeah. It's hard. I can't even imagine how you would manage
like back then,
that.
vacations weren't like. Well, I guess people did it back then. But
well, like mom, they did like Rockaway or whatever, or they would go to like you'd just hijack with another family already en route. I think the vacation she went on were with the Hogans.
I remember like we'd grow up, and whoever had a pool, you'd be sitting out in front of the house with the towel on your shoulder. Like, it's mighty hot out here today. Oof. Wish I'd go swimming and
love a dip right now.
love to find some water to just jump in. And then the mother would come out. You want to go swimming? Yeah, we want to go swimming. Like 10 kids come running and kids from the block. Oh man, it's the best.
Yeah.
That growing up back then was a whole different thing,
Oh yeah, you had to interact.
We left at, we got up and went left, and we didn't have to be back to lunchtime. Then after lunch, come back for, gotta go home, man. The street lights are coming on.
My mom's gonna be worried.
And then, to this day, when I'm having a conversation with someone, I want to get out of the conversation. I'm like, yo, I gotta get out of here. My mother's calling me.
Babs used to always say that to us growing up. We'd go to visit, your parents, and Babs would be like, "I think I hear Nana calling you. Like, get out of my room, kid.
Get away."
I think your grandmother's calling you. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll skip forward. You were a kid for a while, but, like, what made you, you're Paul the Tree guy. What made you want to be an entrepreneur?
It just kind of fell in my lap because my neighbor where I grew up had 18 acres of woods around me, so they were a tree company.
Okay.
So when I was like 12, when I moved to the house in Woodbury, it was like,
You needed a job.
I was just like going over, and Mr. Dougal's there. He was like 90 years. He's like in his 60s. This guy was a tough old bird. I mean, he won the World's Fair, the chopping contest in 1939. He won the World's Fair, chopping contest. This guy was a real axeman,
Yeah, wow.
And he worked for the New York City Fire Department and stuff. He was like, he actually showed the New York City Fire Department, like the first guy that would take a rope, tie it to a chimney, and rappel down 3 stories above the fire because the ladders couldn't go up high enough. And he like innovated that sort of thing, like bringing tree work into the New York City Fire Department.
Wow.
So he was
That's
like,
interesting.
he was like a god in there. So he was like in his 65, 70 when I met him. But he was cool. He taught me how to split wood and stuff. And then I go out climbing trees with him. And then I left it, I was a kid. And then I went and worked at, the Rusty Scup where I got fired.
What was that?
It was a restaurant, and I didn't show up for New Year's Eve. The biggest night, they need a dishwasher. Yo, man, I'm not giving up my New Year's Eve. I'm in 11th grade.
Yeah, are you kidding? It's the most important night of my life.
It's 11th grade. I'm not giving up New Year's Eve. So I got fired from that. But, bounced around. But one time I was working at a job, and then I didn't have a job. And, your mom says to me, goes, "Oh, didn't you used to climb trees?" I go, yeah, I did that. I know how to climb trees. So I went out to Bartlett Tree Service in Southampton, and they hired me on the spot. I go, just show me the knot again, and I could probably do it.
Yeah.
Like in 3 months, I was like running crews. I just knew how to do it, and never looked back. Just started doing it. I worked for a bunch of people, and I said, if this guy screws me, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And the last guy I worked for screwed me. So I said, I'm risking my life, and he's getting all the glory and all the money. I go, I could do this. All I need is a truck and a chipper.
Yep.
And I got it, and I said, listen, if I can make $200 a day, that's $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
That's a low, let's keep it low. Let's not shoot high.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a millionaire in a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Just
Simple
simple, and just move along. Just keep plugging along, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Chicky.
Oh, yeah, Chicky.
telling me, like, you just saying, like, I was with your dad in his prime, and he's, just, on the phone, and telling, we're going to go here, and here.
Yeah.
And I guess it really wasn't even cell phones at that time. It was more just, like, beepers. And...
Yeah, we had beepers, and then I got a cell phone, and then, it was pretty...
Well, you had a cell phone. How early did you have a cell phone? Like, how old were you, or what year, do you know?
It was probably in the late 80s, 90s. When did cell phones come out, in the 90s?
Well, because I got a cell phone, like, when I turned 15. But that was, like, when it was a little more readily available.
No, the first ones that came out were
early.
I think it was late 80s or something.
Yeah.
No, it might have been the 90s if
It
cell
was
phone
probably
came out.
90s.
If anyone out there knows when cell phones started for, like, real people, not just the rich and famous.
If we can get that Google search result, that would be great.
Yeah, drop me a line. I'm really not sure when the cell phone started.
Yeah.
But when they started, we got them, and then it was,
Yeah, game changer.
Yeah, because then you couldn't leave your house if you... Where's my phone? I can't leave the house. Where's my phone?
Well, that was your business.
Yeah.
It's always been a business thing.
Like nowadays, even if I walk out of the house, I'm going to put the garbage on. Where's my cell phone? It's pretty sick.
You're addicted, man. You got a problem. That's why they call it jonesing.
It's like I'm going to miss a call. Who's calling you? It's 9 o'clock at night. What the fuck?
I'm going to miss a text. Well, it's too funny. When we went on vacation with Janelle this summer, my sister, she was just so mad at my dad's text messaging sound. But I think it was just she was more mad that she was getting less text messages than he was.
Yeah, she's not that ringer. That ring.
Oh, that sound.
That sound. There it goes again. That sound. I go,
but he does have, in Janelle's defense, the do 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 do. It sounds like the sudden death round of a game show.
I was gonna switch it this week for the new year. Janelle told me I gotta switch it every once in a while, just Yeah. But then if I switch it, then I'm not gonna know which one's the ring and which one's the text
What's
message.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Is it texting?
Is that a
is
text
it a
or is that a ring?
Do what Janelle makes Janelle happy. You were driving. So your grandfather was a motorhead, and then who got you into? You just started playing with motors. Like, how did you get into becoming
mini
such
bikes?
a gear?
When my age group, mini bikes were the big things.
Okay, so to be cool, you had a mini bike?
Yeah, you had to get a mini bike. So
Okay.
I had a mini bike, and then I got like a lawnmower motor or an motor off an edge. It was like a 3.5 Tecumseh or something. But one time I took it apart in my garage, and I cleaned it all up, and I got rattle cans and I sprayed it. I spray painted it.
Yeah.
And I put it back together, and the fucking thing looked brand new. I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
Just by cleaning it up,
Giving some love, you had a brand
and spray
new thing.
paint. And I didn't know how to use make a throttle. Like back then you had to buy a throttle, and
Okay.
they were probably pricey. Might have been $3. But I had a dream one night that if I could take the brake.
This is a dream during those years.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
dream back in the day.
Yeah.
I had to figure out how, because
Yeah.
I used to only use a string. You had a string on your thumb, you're holding the handlebar, and you're using the string to make the gas go faster,
Okay, so you
to make
needed
the
a
throttle
throttle.
work, So I'm like, so if you made a left turn, it was like, whoa, because you're hitting the gas and you're holding on, the string's on your thumb. So you're like, fuck. So I had a dream. I realized if I took a brake, a regular brake from a bicycle, like a front brake.
Yeah,
That's a cable, and I put it on, and I fucking used it by squeezing I was like, yeah, I got fucking a throttle. It worked.
Yeah.
But I dreamed because I thought about it all night.
Yeah.
I go, what could I use? And I'm going, a brake cable.
Oh my god.
And it fucking worked.
God bless
Then it
him,
was-
like a child's free mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking make that
I'm going to make that
work.
fucking thing work, man.
Oh man.
And then we all, all our friends had mini bikes and stuff. And then one time, the cops brought me home on a mini bike. My father's like, oh, all right, get in here, Paul. And then, the cop goes, okay, have a good night. So he slams the door and he's like, what an asshole. I'm worrying about who has the knife or the gun. And this cop's bringing you home for a little kid riding around on his little motor scooter. Because my father was a New York City cop, so he didn't really like the Nassau Suffolk police.
Okay, yeah, because they're it's small time. You got
and
nothing
they
better
impounded the
to
bike.
do?
They took the bike away from me. And my next day I came home from school, and my father got it at an impound for me.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
I was driving it from Plainview to Woodbury though. I was on the streets, It wasn't just going around the block. I was driving 6 miles, down main roads.
Well, that kid needs to get around. Stop freaking.
I was tired of pedaling. Pedaling the bicycle was, not fun.
So how old was that you got a mini bike?
12 years old, 12 years old, yeah.
Okay, and then after that it was just driving?
Yeah, I drove kind of early.
Well, because you have a story that I've heard a couple of times about a fan. So you want to tell the story because you know what I'm about to say?
Oh, the one with the Jeep?
Well, the car you borrowed.
Oh, from when?
From the girl.
Oh yeah, I went to this girl's house one night. We were hanging out, partying. We were 12, partying. And
getting lit.
Getting lit up. And I open up the garage. I see a garage. He has a fucking Jeep Commander, a 70. It's a stick and stuff. My father taught me how to drive a stick on a Volkswagen, so I'm like, okay. I go, where's the fucking keys? She goes, oh, the keys are right here. I go, come on, let's take it out. She goes, really? I go, yeah, let's take your phone. Yeah, let's take it out. I backed this fucking thing out of the driveway, and we're driving around Plainview in it. I'm fucking 12. Remember those big puffy jackets, those jackets that, the down jackets, they make you look puffy. So I took gloves and I stuffed them in my arms to make me look puffier. So we're driving around, and then we go, oh, we need cigarettes. So we went to the gas station. So we pull into a
We're
gas.
12. We need cigarettes.
Yeah, we need cigarettes, and I need $1 of gas. So we pull it in, and I got cigarettes, and then I put like $2 of gas in it.
So it wouldn't be missing.
Yeah, so we just were running out of gas. So I couldn't get it into reverse. I was having a hard time getting into forward. Every time I let off the clutch, it kept backing up. And I'm going, fuck, I'm getting too close.
Yeah.
I tagged this guy, Chevelle, behind me that worked there. You know, just a little tap, you know.
Kissed it.
And they grabbed me out of the car. They put me in the, in the office. They go, we're calling the cops. So they called the police, and the police came and got us. And we went to the police station, and my father, back then the cops were like, oh, this is what he did. My father tuned me up in the police station. Tuned me up. I mean, I got what kids. Bash. I got the boom bash, and then the cop was like this. Okay, have a good night, Mr. Jones. And they sent us on our way. But when we were walking out of the police station, the mother of the girl and the father were walking up, and they going, the mother says to my father, I just don't understand it. How did he know how to drive that thing? Because it was like a stick and stuff. And his father's like, really? That's not an easy truck to drive. My father's like, I don't know. Sorry about that.
So that was Granddaddy's little.
It was a good time.
Maybe I shouldn't have taught him that one.
Yeah, I shouldn't have taught him how to drive the fucking Volkswagen.
Oh, man. Because you taught Aunt Linda to drive.
Yeah,
your older sister.
Yeah, my brother Timmy tried teaching her, and he's 2 years older than me, and she was 17 and I was like 12 or 13 because there was 4 years in between us, and I taught her how to drive the Volkswagen because Timmy can't teach, and I taught her. I'm 12, she's 17, and I'm teaching her how to shift gears, let out the clutch slow, go to second, get the revs up. Yeah, I taught her how to drive. She'll never forget that, she said.
I know, she even said to me, she's just like, I'll never forget that, like crying, like just defeated, like you were like, I got you.
I'll teach you how to drive this thing. It's a fucking Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, my first experiences driving were with you, where you were just like, you got it, like I could tell you, it's the service road going over right over by you.
Yeah.
Going to Woodbury, and we're like in the big parking lot, because it's like a Sunday, so it's empty, and you're like, all right, you got the feel for it, and then you're like, all right, now hit the service road. And we're literally driving, and I took the turn really hot, and then you got a phone call, and you were like, your friends, you're like, oh, I guess your buddy asked you what you were doing. You're like, oh, I just shit my pants because my daughter's driving.
Trying to get me killed.
But that's the only way you learn, is to get out there and do it.
Yeah, you got to ride, you got to drive.
You would always just talk to Dylan and I, just always say what was going on in the car and what to be looking out for, and I have that in my head now, that it's like, you have to always be defensive driving.
Yes. You look 10 cars in front of you.
Yeah, everybody.
You got to know what's around you all the time.
Know what everybody's doing.
Like that tractor trailer up, it's a mile up the road, but that tractor trailer, he's probably going to make a crazy wide left-hand turn. He's going to take you out the right lane. So that guy in the BMW on his right side is going to get taken. So you got to be ready to start, everyone starts checking up with the brake lights. You got to fucking be ready.
Yeah, no, it's something that you pride yourself on. You did that NASCAR.
Oh yeah, I drove the NASCAR thing. That's fun. That's a blast.
So they drove you around, or you got to drive also?
No, first the driver, a professional driver, drives you around this quarter-mile track, and my friend who owns the company says, to him, listen, these guys are fucking tree guys, so they think they're tough. So that really made them like, you motherfucker. Guy was fucking hammering it, and I was like, I'm good. Shut the fuck, you're getting close to that wall, guy. You're getting close. He was flying,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, So then we got out, and then they gave us each a car.
Okay.
And then we went around the track. But it's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have respect for those guys that drive the big cars around, 10 Talladega or something. They're 6 inches off each other. But I mean, I was just going around a quarter-mile track. I'm maybe doing 70, 80, 90 miles.
Yeah.
And it's like, I only went around 13 times. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's sketchy. Crazy.
It's really scary.
We were talking about this earlier. I don't know if this is going to be your answer, but best trip you've ever been on?
Oh, best trip? Oh, that might have been 1978. We dropped it around 8 o'clock, and around 9 o'clock, we were fucking tripping.
I thought you were going to say when me, you, and Janice tripped.
No, when we went to the trip, our last trip we went on last summer was my favorite. Me, you, and Janelle. That was a good time.
Yeah, well, we did a recreation photo. It was, I guess I was probably 8 in the picture, something like
8.
that. And my sister's 4 years older than me, so I was maybe 7, 8, whatever. She's maybe 11 in the picture, whatever. And it's at the top of a lighthouse in North Carolina. So we went back and recreated that photo approximately 25 years later, whatever. It was 25, I think.
Yeah,
it was 25 years later, yeah. So that was really cool. And we're already like, it was funny because the other day they were like, Dylan, it came up like, oh, are you going next year? I was like, all paid vacation.
A paid vacation? Of course
I'll
going.
be there. All expense paid vacation. You got anything on your bucket list?
Oh, I don't know.
Any places you'd like to say?
No.
Really?
I'm not like a big, I want to go see Spain or something now.
Yeah. Well, no, there's stuff in the U.S. that I want to see. Like, I never saw the Grand Canyon. That's on my list.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon would be cool. I would like to cruise the Pacific Coast Highway in California with a nice car.
All right.
Take
so
that,
there
blast
you go.
that. But, California, I'm not going over there.
You go to Vegas.
Yeah,
You're
but
practically there.
yeah, but Vegas is different.
Vegas is fun.
Seeing people shooting up in the streets, that's not my thing.
Well, that's not everywhere in California, Dad.
Yeah, all right. I don't know.
I don't know where you're getting your news from. That's definitely not accurate.
I heard it through the grapevine.
Kardashians
Yeah, they
are
let
out
you shoot
there.
up right in the streets in California, and you can take a shit too if you had to. I mean, come on,
Yeah, I think
guy.
that's like one.
Come on, guy. Go behind the dumpster if you're gonna drop a deuce. Come on, what the fuck? You gotta do
That's
it.
why I'm glad I don't live in New York City, because you wake up to that kind of stuff.
Ooh, imagine walking out. Oh, beautiful day, sunshine.
somebody told
Hey,
me.
buddy, wipe that thing.
I forget who it was. They said that there was a human shit right by their car, just basically enough to know that the person used their car as
Lean on it.
to lean
You
on it.
son of a bitch. Fucking shitting. Oh, I got shit stories because when I go do estimates to do tree work and the people are in the backyard, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to clean up. There's fucking 20 shits back there. I say, listen, guy.
Oh, the
if
dog.
Yeah, the dog shit. I go, if I step in dog shit, it's $50 per foot. Because then I show them the bottom of my work boots. They're like, the vibrant bottoms. It takes an hour to clean these off.
Yeah, you can.
So, and then the guy's like, we're walking through the backyard. The guy's like throwing his wife down over a pile of shit. I'm stepping on her head. Yeah, sorry, ma'am, but I didn't step in the shit. You fuck on me.
That's going on stage. That's free.
the guy.
I didn't know you had that policy.
Oh yeah, the guy's
free estimates, free wood chips,
but
and
if I
$50
per, I go per foot. Not just if I step in it once, I'm like, you fuck. That price has went up $100.
Oh yeah, of
yeah.
course, yeah. It's not 50 and then unlimited shit
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
no.
walk through.
You keep me in a good mood. I'm gonna give you a good fair deal on your tree job. I step in dog shit. Price go. My guys can't work around here. Look at all this shit around here. We're dragging branches through. We're dragging rope through. Yeah.
And then the next guy's touching the
Yeah,
branches.
yeah.
Dog
Clean up your
shit.
dog shit.
Yeah,
We're not
come
coming
on.
here. I've told people we're not working in the backyard. One guy backyard was small, like 15 by 20. It was small. And he had a German Shepherd. I'm telling you, every 4 inches there was shit. I said to my boys.
That's cruelty, though.
I walked in the
That's not
back.
good for the
I walked in the
animal.
backyard and I said to my boys, I go, listen, get that tree down, and I'm not coming back here. There's dog shit all over the place.
Yeah, it's not right for the dog.
I know, but they were putting a new pool in, and I had to do it. I had to
Yeah.
get the tree down. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, when people are like that, it's like...
Yeah, it's now it's great. You see all the trucks. Doopy Doo, a Scoopy Doo. They got the best lines. Always on duty. Always on duty.
Yeah, my old boss used to pay for one of those services.
Yeah.
It was worth it, you know, for him to freaking not have to deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
And if they're coming twice a week or once a week.
What do they do with this shit?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, are they taking it with them or are they just throwing it in their garbage, you know? The homeowner's garbage.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's a good question. And do you have to pay more? Anybody got a duty service out there that they're using?
Where are they taking the shit? Literally.
It's Vaporize. Have you seen that? Envy?
Oh, yeah, that was a funny.
That's a really great movie.
Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, that's a good one. What is your spirit animal?
What's a spirit animal?
Like an animal you've always felt like you kind of identified with? Like if you were an animal, what would you be?
Who knows?
Any just start firing.
I just say Taurus the bull. I always say Taurus.
Okay.
The bull.
Okay.
That's, you know.
Yeah, hard-headed.
Yeah.
Strong.
Okay, keep going.
Well, no, those are things those are bull, those are Bill mentalities.
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
Taurus thing, yeah.
That's all Taurus stuff.
But then sometimes I'm like a rat with cheese, you know, and people are like, you know, what are you doing with that bag of weed? I'm like a rat with cheese, you know, fucking.
What do you mean by that?
You know, you got to smoke it all, you get it and you smoke it all quick. And I always also say I'm like a rat because when I leave my neighborhood where I grew up in, they just put a no turn on red sign there, you know? So
it's fucked you up.
Yeah, so now I make a right without, you know, fuck the right on red. I'm making a right. It's plenty of room, you can see.
Yeah.
And if the cop pulls me over, I'm just going to say, listen, guy, I'm like a rat in a maze. I only know one way to go, you know?
Yeah.
I just know how to get to the cheese, you know? Why'd you make a right on red? Because I've been making a right on red since I was 16. I've been driving out of this corner. Now all of a sudden I got to change?
Well, you're the problem when they put these new stop signs up and people are like, oh, no.
Yeah, nah.
Like it wasn't a stop sign ever before.
Now there's a stop sign? I don't think so.
Yeah, you are the problem. No, because we have that over here, a couple places that I don't think they should all be four-way. They have every other as four-way. So people start cruising, they go, oh, four-way, and then they hit one and they assume everybody else is stopping, but they're not. It's not good.
I drove a spray rig once, and I was working in like a neighborhood, like a nice neighborhood, and there was no stop signs. And the kid that was with me was like from Lindenhurst to the South Shore. He kept the whole time, he goes, "There's no stop signs in here. There's no sign." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, there's no stop signs on these streets." I go, "Yeah, because you pull up and you see, you know, you go slow. If no one's there, you go. If you see someone, you know."
He's like, "What's happening?"
He's like, "There's no stop signs in this neighborhood." I go, "Yeah, there's no stop signs. Fucking slow down, guy.
Get over it.
Get over it. We're not gonna crash."
Well, they say that they've done studies in the UK where they've taken stop signs out and done like roundabouts and that sort of thing. And you see the people are going 100 miles per hour. No one's getting in accidents because they're all alert and going when it's safe. And
yeah, those circles are pretty cool. They actually work.
Yeah, the roundabouts. That's all down south. They have all that, and they'll have like the 3-lane one to get in there, and it's a big.
Oh yeah.
But it keeps things moving better than a light.
Yeah, the traffic lights are no good.
All right. So early driver. I know you love cars. Is there some dream cars out there?
Oh yeah, there's a dream car out there for everybody.
All right, Mike.
My dream car would probably be a Cobra.
What year?
Like I mean, a 65 Cobra is $1 million, you know, but they have the knockoff ones for $50,000 or something. That'd be a great car to have. You know, 427, they weigh about 2,200 pounds and a stick in it. Yeah, they're fast.
And you're saying a current one, a new one?
No, these are the older ones.
Oh,
they're 65 and 7, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you ever saw the movie Ford versus Ferrari, it's the one Carroll Shelby was driving around it. It's called the Cobra. But they have all kit cars now.
Oh,
so you could buy one and build it yourself, you know.
Got it.
But yeah. But if it was a car, I like a 65 Impala, which I had. but with a big block with a 4-speed.
Okay.
Convertible and a hardtop. One of each.
Yeah, well,
because I have a 66 hardtop and convertible.
Right, so you
his and hers. But the 65, it's just a little bit different. You got to know that from 65 to 66, they changed a few things.
Yeah.
But it's the same car.
Yeah. All right. I asked you this song. If there's a song that played every time you walked into a room.
Radar Love.
Yeah. And, it's funny because it makes sense. I get it. It's all about driving.
Yeah.
And, like, you had said it's a good driving tune. We have a couple of anthems that music's really big. You've always been a really big music person.
Yeah, I always liked music.
And, like, I always a lot of music. Like, I remember in the 66 Impala, just Tom Petty for a little while. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's all we had in there or something. And
I only kept a few CDs with me in that car, yeah, because I don't know.
No, but I like that.
Yeah.
I like that nostalgia of that. And, like, we had brought that up actually recently because there's, like, you were so different than Granddaddy, police sergeant, then rebel without a cause. And then Dylan's so different than you in so many ways, but, like, the music is something that transcends.
Yeah, music was good.
Yeah, and you've always been able to, like, call on... You've been able to, like Outcast, Hey Ya, you were like, oh, this is going to be a hit. Like, I remember you saying that, and then it, like, blew up. Like, but you've always been able to, like, call, like, the Billboard Top 100.
I still think that rap song...
Oh, Dynamite Hack.
Boys
in the Hood, Dynamite Hack.
Yeah, that was the best song. And I heard that, I go, this song is the best.
It's the best song. And it really is, like, the best song. And I specifically remember that was, like, a before dinner. We're going to listen to it.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Which Mom loved.
We're going to listen to this song. And then you said once your friend said, you got to hear this song. And then you, like, started knowing all the words. He's like, what's going on here? How do you know all the words? Oh, this is my dad's favorite song. He played it 10 years ago, you stu-nod.
Yeah, exactly. Not the original. Exactly. What else did I want to talk to you about? So you had some funny stuff growing up in school. Like, you randomly told me that you didn't have first grade.
Oh yeah, first grade was a wash.
And
it was me. It was like me, this guy Tom Hurley, David Antonacci, Steve Zaza. I mean, these guys, we were all, but we had the first grade school teacher, was Mrs. Doyle, and she ended up having a nervous breakdown like halfway through the year. And it was actually my older brother's friend's mother, but we used to call her like Shaky, because she would be like signing up papers, and she had like...
You probably set her over the edge.
Yeah, we probably put her over the edge. But all of a sudden, she left. Like, sorry, she's out. And then we had substitute teachers the whole rest of the semester, So, and we were like the crazy kids. I don't know. We were just, everyone, when we were all together, it was like this entity that made us, we're not listening. Chalkboard fights, with the erasers and shit, and having fights with the desks, like pushing them, like, I'm in car 51, I'm gonna hit him, our fingers are on the end. He caught someone's finger, take him to the nurse. So then when we got to second grade, it was like, shit, you didn't learn anything in first grade. So now you started falling behind, and it just kept going.
Snowballed. Well, because first grade's like a lot of elementary. You need to. There's like colors, writing.
No, we were throwing stuff out the second story window to see what.
And it wouldn't have been right for them to hold you back either, because then you would have just disrupted more kids.
Oh yeah. They were
so
no,
second grade.
Get these kids going.
Get them through the system. That's too much. And you said, a couple times you got in trouble, but Nana would always defend you. She wouldn't tell Granddaddy what was going on.
Oh, yeah, like in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, yeah. She would always keep it to herself.
Yeah, why? Because you got caught with, just dumb shit?
Oh, yeah, dumb shit. Not showing up, not going to school.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
ditching, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you were getting caught with like drugs. You were
No,
getting
no,
you were
nothing like
just
that.
like not showing. Okay, you
Yeah,
weren't.
not showing up.
Okay.
But one time in high school, I was in court with my dad.
Yeah.
And there was a keg party across the street in the sod farms. So this guy, Norman Greenspan, calls up my father then. And he goes, yeah, we're just calling you to tell you your son's suspended for school for a week, because my father says, yeah, for what? Well, we broke up a keg party today and we chased your son away. My father goes, really? You chased my son away? My son was with me in court all day today. You're chasing the wrong guy. My father laid into him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your alibi, and you actually had a real alibi.
I was in Nassau County Court. I was there from 8 till 3 or something. Hey?
Why? Because it was like, why were you there with Granddaddy, though?
Because I was in trouble.
Oh,
it was
okay.
like a court case.
Oh, okay.
I was in,
You were just getting something handled.
I was fixing something.
Okay. So yeah, you had oh my God, and it was freaking alibi.
Yeah, my father's like, yeah, really? You chased him today? What time? At 12? Yeah, good one. He was with me all day. You didn't chase him anywhere.
You ain't chased nothing.
He's chasing your tail.
That's great. Well, that's good. You had a good alibi.
Yeah.
Because if you had told Granddaddy, Dad, I swear it wasn't there,
yeah.
that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, he would have been like, come on, guy. You better slow down.
Yeah, I just remember Granddaddy was just so funny with the stories. He just was like a big fish with the stories.
Oh, yeah. That was a good movie.
I just feel like he's just, talking about, having a monkey with an accordion that he wanted to buy.
What the hell? Imagine if he got one. Where was the monkey going to sleep? With me? And I would probably be the one with the accordion. I would have been the one doing it. Because, Timmy was going to be the lawyer. I'm getting this accordion monkey gig for my other son. It'll work out awesome.
We'll have an entertainer and we'll have a businessman.
Yeah, it would all be good.
Oh, man. So what else? We got a couple more minutes here. You got any other stories you want to share? Anything that I don't know about the family? Anything funny that you could think about?
Well, when I hauled the medical waste, I got a funny story.
All right.
When I don't know if I tell you this one, but once in a while I have to go to like little hospitals or little doctors' offices and pick up medical waste. It was called the mini run. So I do like 15 stops in Brooklyn and shit, and like these little labs and stuff. And I walked into one lab once, and the lady says, "Oh, you got to get rid of something for us." I go, "Oh, what is this?" She goes, "We have a leg." I go, "A leg?" I go, "Oh, she's kind of all right looking." So I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll take care of that." So I went out to the truck, got another barrel, went back into this back room, and all the girls were looking at me, go into this refrigerator, and it was like a thigh down to the ankle of a leg.
Yeah.
And like wrapped up in wood.
Like a meat.
Yeah, like a piece of meat, like that. And I take it out, and I go, I'm sorry, I don't know who this belongs to. I'm just doing my job. And I put it in the barrel, because it was a cardboard barrel, taped it up, slapped the sticker on it, and said, put it on my little cart, and I'm walking out. And as I'm walking out, all the girls are like looking like, yeah, he's got it. And I go, I wasn't kidding when I said we charge you an arm and a leg to get rid of this shit.
Good
But
one.
yeah, it was like they do science shit on it,
Oh they're gonna science shit. They're gonna.
Yeah, they were doing some tests or something, but yeah.
And then they were done with it. So
yeah, they're like, all right, now how do you get rid of a leg? Oh, call Medigen. It was so great. That job was. Oof.
Yeah, you had said. Well, I think maybe even Mom said that you crazy stories out of when you would pick up from Kings Park.
Oh yeah, Kings Park was kind of kooky. That's a scary place.
And what would they say to you?
They would just, I don't know. It was just a creepy place.
But they would never give you intel on what was going on.
No, they would never tell you what's going on.
It was you just got the energy of a creepy place.
Oh yeah, really bad energy.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like it's pretty freaky over there.
Yeah, because you and I ended up, we would play. You remember you bring Dylan and I? We play soccer over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that I just remember Mom saying that it was creepy. Yeah, but it was
Those
just creepy
buildings
vibes.
were huge, and I can't believe back in the day they were all full.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just,
and I would always meet this maintenance guy. It was like an outbuilding. I'd pull the truck up and we'd load it up. It was like mostly diapers and shit, you know. It was,
Yeah.
They only had a small section of the place going at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a creepy place. But driving into the city 3 times a day with a 28-foot box truck was screwy.
Yeah.
In, out, in, out, in, out.
Yeah, because you had to keep getting the truck emptied.
Yeah, I had to keep going back in and out forth. And people tell you, yeah, I drive to the city every day. I was driving to the city 3 times a day, in and out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And how old were you? You had us by then?
Janelle was born and you were born. Yeah, I was probably like 27, 26, 27.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of had to switch. You had to switch what you were doing because, like, you can't do that forever.
No, I was a Teamster, and then the first one to get, when you're a Teamster or on any kind of these union jobs, the last hired is the first guy gone. And I was working with a guy who was 70 years old. He'd go do a run at Southside Hospital and come home and punch out, and he got his 8 hours. But then I would have to do 3 runs to the city because I was low man on the pole.
Yeah.
So, last hired, first fired. And then I said to myself, I'm never getting fired again. I'm starting my own fucking business.
Yeah. Well,
it worked out.
It worked. It worked. You've always said, money grows on trees.
Oh, yeah.
Paul the tree guy. And it was actually pretty funny because my dad didn't realize there was a marijuana reference going around.
Trees.
With trees. So, you know, we've got Paul the tree guy merch if anybody wants it. No, it's just funny. It's just funny because you had no idea, and it's just people, you know, either they get it or they don't. It's just over their head.
Yeah.
And if they're in, they're in.
Hey, where's Paul the tree guy? Why, you need some trees? Yeah, he's got trees.
He prunes trees, you know, removal.
And then, like, if I'm
grinding.
hanging out and I'm like at a party or something, and people are like, "Oh, what do you do?" I go, "Yeah, I have a tree company." They're like, "You got a tree?" They go, "I got a tree." I go, "Fuck you! Everybody's got a tree." You know, like, I'm the nasty pull a tree guy. Yeah, everyone's got a tree. What's wrong with yours now? You know?
Good thing you're not a proctologist. Now I gotta hear about this shit. We got a couple minutes left, Dad. Yeah, so we were telling stories, childhood, adulthood, anything else you got?
Driving. Please, everybody, keep your eyes on the road. Stop texting and driving. I'm sick and tired of being at every light and laying on the horn. You know, I got my hand on the horn at the light. As soon as it turns green, you're getting hammered. But then I was behind a guy that, like, every light he was doing it. Like, every light I had to beep the horn. I'm like, you fuck on me, guy, I'm going to get you.
Well, Glenn said to me the other day, he goes, the way the guy that was texting, he goes, he had to be sexting. He said the way the guy was incessantly, like you said, every light down.
Yeah,
he's like, what are you making? He's like, what is he getting, pictures of titties? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? He's like, because there's no way you need your phone that much.
Yeah, sometimes you get, you know, listen, I'm no angel.
Yeah.
I've done it, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, and I take off, you know. Yeah. But then not at the next night, I don't continue it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'll just fucking.
I got embarrassed once.
Now I'm gonna drive.
I got shamed once.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep fucking up.
Yeah, well, and I actually brought it to Glenn's attention. He goes, "How come when you see someone do something shitty around you, they do something sketchy, then they seem to go really fast by you?" He goes, "They just didn't seem like they knew how to drive very well." I go, "It's because they're embarrassed."
Yeah.
And then they do a shitty little move, and then you honk at them, or they show, you know. And then they, like, go fast to get away from you. He goes, "I never thought of it like that." I'm like, yeah, you were shaming them to drive faster, and they're freaking idiots.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad out there. It's bad out there on the roads.
And then if, like, one time I cut a guy off, and I was like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
You know? Just as long as you give him a wave and say, you're sorry.
Yeah.
Like what? You never fucking cut somebody off? I mean, come on, guy.
Yeah, no, I've done it in parking lots where I've pulled out and I went, oh my God,
yeah.
I didn't see you.
Yeah.
And then the person's like, all
Yeah,
right,
it
because they
happens.
beep at you like, yo, lady. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're right.
You
I
got me.
deserve that one. Somebody had posted, they said that someone, instead of giving them the finger, they just gave him a thumbs down. And he said, and it felt so much worse. And it was so funny because what it reminded me of was Glenn's dad recently followed a girl because she like nearly took his bumper off.
Yeah.
And he followed her because he just saw that she was getting gas. And he yelled at her, he's like, you got to grow up. He's like, you're just going to get gas? You know, if you go to the emergency room or something, he's like, you're just driving like a maniac. Freaking, you could kill somebody and you don't realize because you're a young, dumb kid.
Yeah, probably needed cigarettes.
Exactly. Well, she was getting online for gas, but yeah, cigarettes, too, and probably some Skittles or whatever.
Wrapping papers.
Exactly, the goods, whatever she needed. But yeah, he was like, I'm giving her a freaking talk. You gotta grow up, is what he said. But yeah, it reminded me of the thumbs down.
I'm gonna do thumbs down now.
Yeah, it's just no good.
Yeah, that was
bad move.
That was a weak move, guy.
Bad move, because it's like
yeah, fuck you. It's like, oh, I'm
fuck me, fuck you.
Yeah, I know. I'm number one. Thank you. Yeah, I'm number one.
Yeah, this is just wow. I'm so sorry.
You loser.
Yeah, so all right, so mission statement, Dad. You know, companies have like mission statements. What's your mission statement for life? Like, what do you want to tell the people? How should they live? What's a good way to live?
Like a rock star. Live it every day like it's your last. Because you never know, man.
It's true.
Never know. And
you know what? You actually, when COVID first happened and the lockdown, you know, and people were getting crazy and the fear, you were like, honey, you can get hit by a car tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can get hit by a car tomorrow. And when I said that to my Aunt Carrie, she's like, Paul Jones with the wisdom? Like, being the most wise right now? Where we've always all been mortal. And I've always been living, like, any day could be your last.
Yeah, you can walk out of your house and get struck by lightning.
Exactly.
When it's your time, it's your time.
Exactly.
I look at life you got to think about all the shit that goes on. Like, you think you got a bad, I got it bad, my car got a dent today, you know, I need money for listen, there's people out there dying of cancer and shit. I mean,
don't have a car.
Yeah, don't even have a car. Now when people, you know, you just got to always think, listen.
My job sucks. You got a job.
Yeah, you're better off than a lot of other people, man.
That's what they say, you know. It's really being great, and that's what I've been trying to put for this year, like just being grateful for everything you have.
Oh yeah.
Dishes to wash, freaking clothes to wash, all the bullshit.
Money problems and all that. That's nothing. That's not life. That's just
that you figure out.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's not life. Life is living and enjoying yourself.
Exactly. Enjoying why you had a job.
Yeah.
I mean, the beach house, which we loved and adored for many years, there was like a little personal oasis that my dad had. And that was just our, you know. That
was cool.
It was just like a little vacation. And, you know, you worked for that, you know. We worked during the week. So that way, on the weekend, you can go and relax and enjoy yourself. And, you know, now it's cars, and it's always been cars. And it's always going to be cars.
Cars and motorcycles are where it's at.
Yeah. Drive fast, take chances, live like a rock star. And that's it, Dad. I'm going to relieve you.
All right.
We had a really good time. I'm really glad that you did this with me.
Nice.
I'm really thankful because Mom did it with me, and I think it's really important for everybody out there. If you know, not even with a podcast, just sit down on a phone with your parent if they're around, and just ask them some questions. I think it's a really cool thing to have. Like losing Noni, my last biological grandparent this year, made me realize that it was really important to sit down and learn about your family history a little bit. You know where you came from. Exactly. The roots. It's all about the roots, right? You gotta know. Yep. All right. So I love you, Dad, so much. Thank you. Love you too. All right, guys. That's the show. Calamity Jones Hour on a Monday. We're usually Fridays, but that's it. Share a show if you found the show. We love you. Get home safe.